WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects: mathematics, English language, physics, chemistry, and biology, targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates on this station. Learners can also connect with Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.
Hello students, welcome to Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Today we are going to focus on emphatic stress. And remember, we've done primary stress before, but today we are going to look at emphatic stress. What does it mean to lay emphasis? It means to focus on a particular word in a sentence. So we're looking at emphatic stress in a sentence. When you emphasize on a particular word, it means you're trying to draw attention of your listener to that particular word, and that is why we're learning this today. You will come across it in your examination. So how would you identify the emphatic stress in a particular sentence when you have questions related to it? Exactly what we're going to learn today. Follow me as we dive into the topic.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
So, learning objective. We are going to look at the meaning of emphatic stress. We are also going to identify emphatic stress in questions. What is emphatic stress? Emphatic stress is the emphasis placed on a word in a sentence to show the focus of the speaker and what the speaker wants the listener to pay attention to. In that case, if a particular speaker wants you to pay attention to a particular word, it lays emphasis on that particular word in a sentence. Also, emphatic stress is the placement of articulatory prominence on or emphasis on a word in a sentence. In other words, when you emphasize a particular word in a sentence, you are drawing attention of your listener to that particular word. Now, in responding to questions on emphatic stress in examinations, interrogative sentences will be provided as options. The interrogative sentence that contradicts the emphasized word is the correct option. Let's go and look at the example of what we're talking about. Now look at the first example we have here. I said, Bala ate a slice of bread. The capitalized word is where we have the emphatic stress. Now, Bala ate a slice of bread. Now the question here is this. What is the emphatic stress? The emphatic stress is where you usually have the capital letter, and this is where the emphasis is on. The emphasis is on bread. Any option that contradicts where we have the emphatic stress would definitely be your answer. So look at the first one. It says, did Bala drink a slice of bread? Our attention is not on drink. So hence, that is not the answer because our attention is on bread. So we eliminate the first option. Look at the second option. Did Bala eat a loaf of bread? Our emphasis is not on loaf, neither is it on it, but the emphasis is on bread, don't forget. So B is not the answer. Did Olu eat a slice of bread? Our emphasis is not on the name of the person, but the emphasis is on bread. So C is not the correct answer. Did Bala eat a slice of cake? Did Bala eat a slice of cake? Don't forget that I said the emphatic stress is usually the word that has that is written in capital letter, which means that the emphasis is on that word. Did Bala eat a slice of cake? And which is different from what we are emphasizing. The emphasis is on bread, not on cake. So which means D is the correct answer. I hope you understand that. Let's practice more questions. Look at this second one. Aderonke stated she had a right to her privacy. Aderonke stated, that is where the emphasis is on. The emphasis is on what? Stated, and that is why it is written in capital letter. Look at it. Stated is written in capital letter, which means the emphasis should be placed on that particular word. So Aderonke stated she had a right to her privacy. Look at the options. We have the first one. Did Aderonke lament she had a right to her privacy? Did Omowumi state she had a right to her privacy? Did Aderonke state she had a right to her privacy? Did Aderonke state she had a right to her openness? Now, take a look at the sentence again. Our attention should be on the word stated, right? So did Omowumi, we have did Aderonke lament. Now, if you look at the other options, you discover that state was laid emphasis on in option B. State was laid emphasis on in option C. The same thing with option D. But the only one that contradicts what the speaker wants us to draw attention to or to pay close attention to is the first one, which is lament. And our attention is on stated. So all the ones are correct. The only one that is not correct, that contradicts what the speaker wants you to pay attention to, is A, did Aderonke lament, which is different from the other one. So this is the correct answer. I hope you're getting it. Let's look at more examples. Now look at this one. Last week's football was very exciting. Last week's football was very exciting. Now the first option we have, was yesterday's football match very exciting? Was last week tennis match very exciting? Was last week football match very dull? Was last week football training very exciting? Now, can you tell me the emphatic stress? Where do we have our emphatic stress on that in this particular sentence? Exciting, right? Yes, you're correct. Now, you are going to pay close attention to the other options. You are going to pay close attention to the other options to figure out what contradicts what the speaker wants you to pay attention to, which is the emphatic stress. The emphatic stress in that sentence is exciting. So anything that contradicts exciting is your answer. So let's look at it. The first one, exciting, is still there. Second one, we have exciting. And the third one, we have very dull, which is contradicting to what the speaker is drawing your attention to. Last week's football was very exciting, but this option C says very dull, which means it contradicts the emphatic stress. That is what the speaker wants you to pay attention to. Okay, so when we look at option C, we say, was last week's football match very dull? You discover that very dull contradicts the emphatic stress. What the speaker wants you to pay attention to is exciting, and that is why it is written in capital letter. Now, if you look at option A, B, D, exciting is written in all the other options. But for option C, we have very dull, which means that it contradicts what the speaker is drawing your attention to. In that case, it means that is the correct answer. The correct answer is C, because it contradicts what the speaker is drawing your attention to. I hope you understand that and you're following me. Okay, so let's go and look at one more example before I give you some work to do. Now look at this. She works at the hospital. She works at the hospital. Where's the emphatic stress? Works, because it is written in capital letter, which means that that particular word, there is emphasis on it. That is why it is called emphatic stress. Emphasis. She works at the hospital. No, she did not play there. She works there. She doesn't cook there. She works there. That is the emphasis. So she works at the hospital. Now look at the options. Don't forget I told you that any option that contradicts the emphatic stress is where you have your answer, when it contradicts it. She works there, not play there, not jump there, not cook there, not fight there. She works. All right, let's look at our options. Who works at the hospital? Where does she work? Does she work at the hospital? What does she do at the hospital? Now, this one is a little bit different from the ones we've been doing from the beginning of since the beginning of this class. Now look at it, pay attention to it. Now these, anyone that answers, any of these options that answers the question, she works at the hospital, is what is going to be your answer. Who works at the hospital? Now when you answer these questions, all these are interrogative sentences. When you answer this question, who works at the hospital, are you going to arrive at, are you going to arrive at the emphatic stress? Are you going to get the answer to the emphatic stress? Are you going to get a response to the emphatic stress? If you can't get the response, or whatever response you get, if it doesn't answer the question, that means it is not correct. So look at it, pay attention. Who works at the hospital? You will say she, which means it's wrong, because the emphasis is not on she. Rather, the emphasis is on works. Look at the second one. Where does she work? Your answer, of course, will be hospital, and that is not where we have the emphatic stress. That means it's also incorrect. Incorrect. Does she work at the hospital? Does she work at the hospital? Yes, no. And look at the last one. What does she do at the hospital? What will be your answer? She works at the hospital, which means this answers the question. The question, and that response gives us an answer to the emphatic stress, which means the last option is correct. I hope you understand this. And let's look at questions. Okay, one more before the question. The old man is a messenger. The old man is a messenger. Look at the option. Who is the messenger? Where is the emphatic stress before we proceed? The emphatic stress, of course, is on messenger. Why? Because it is written in capital letter, and hence the speaker is laying emphasis on that particular word. The speaker is not laying emphasis on old or man, but the emphasis is on what? Is on messenger, and that is why it is written in capital letter. The old man is a messenger. The old man is not a pastor. The old man is not a teacher. The old man is not a student. The old man is a messenger. So look at the options. Who is the old man? Oh, sorry. Who is the messenger? No. Is the young man a messenger? No. Is the old woman a messenger? No. All these are not drawing our attention to the emphatic stress. The last option that is drawing our attention to the emphatic stress is the old man a typist? Then you will say, no, I said the old man is a messenger, not a typist, not any other thing, not a farmer, but I said the old man is a messenger. I hope you understand this topic now. Very interesting topic, isn't it? Now it's time for evaluation, and I'm going to give you just 30 seconds to do this. All right, welcome back. I hope you've done justice to that question. So let's look at the answers to the question. Number 1, Ngozi loves pounded yam. Where is the emphatic stress? The emphatic stress is on pounded, right? The emphatic stress is on pounded. The emphatic stress is not on fried yam. The emphatic stress is not on boiled yam. The emphatic stress is not on roasted yam. But the emphatic stress is on pounded, not on loves, not on Ngozi, not on yam. So that's how you get your answer. Now look at the options. What contradicts the emphatic stress? What contradicts the word that is laid emphasis on? Does Ngozi love boiled yam? No. Boil is not is not where we have the emphatic stress. Does Jane love pounded yam? Does Ngozi eat pounded yam? Does Ngozi love pounded plantain? Plantain is not where we have the emphatic stress. But the focus is on pounded. So what contradicts the emphatic stress from the options you've read? Yes. Okay, so boiled contradicts the emphatic stress. Boiled contradicts the emphatic stress. Our emphatic stress said pounded, not boiled, not roasted. So in that case, this is the only correct answer. Let's look at the last one. All the employees rejected him. All the employees rejected him. What's the emphatic stress? Where's the emphatic stress? The emphatic stress is on employees. So look out for employees. Look out for what contradicts the emphatic stress to identify your answer. A, did all the employees reject her? Did some of the employees reject him? Did all the employees accept him? Did all the employers reject him? Please, this is a little bit tricky, so pay close attention to what you're reading. The rest, from A to C, you discover that it is employees. But the last one says, did all the employers? So what contradicts where we have the emphatic stress now? Good one. So the employers. So all the employers. Did you say the employers or the employee? No, I said the employees, not the employer. So the emphasis is on employees and not employer, which means that this is the correct answer because it contradicts what the speaker is laying emphasis on. I hope you understand how to identify your emphatic stress, and I hope you enjoyed the class. All right, and I hope you've learned something fantastic today. Thanks for joining me today, and I would love to see you some other time.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
For comments, feedback, or questions, you can reach out to us on our social media handle, and we'd love to answer your questions. Thank you.
Acing your WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO Candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects: mathematics, English language, physics, chemistry, and biology, targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates on this station. Learners can also connect with Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.